Three, two, one. And here it is, guys. Man, I've been working on this channel for a month now, and I have been struggling to decide what topic to start with, and it really hit me. I need to start with why I'm doing this. So I have not seen my older kids in several years. I've not spoken to them in several years. I do my best to keep up with them, and the door is always open. And I'm not pointing fingers, but I know that for every story there is my side, your side, and then somewhere in the middle is the truth. For whatever reason, I have not been able to share with my older kids what my truth is, and I don't know why that has become what it is. So here I go. I have been really self-reflecting on myself lately and thinking to myself, what is this channel going to be? Is it going to be politics? Is it going to be education? Is it going to be, what is it? And what I have decided is this channel is going to be a confessional. And what I mean by that is my kids don't know who I am. I know my son is a very talented musician. I know my daughter is a beautiful soul. But they don't know who I am. So I'm making this channel so they can find out who I am. So if I have ever impacted your life in a positive way, I really want you to go down and hit that share button and like this video. I kept saying I want this channel to be free, and really, I don't care about that. I really want this channel to go viral because I want my kids to see it and know that they are always in my heart. As I've been reflecting on that, I've also realized that with my health being what it is, I need to be thinking about the future and the legacy that I leave. The main thing that I have looked at is my own mortality and struggling to deal with that, and knowing that there's a lot of things I want to pass on to my children that I missed from my own dad growing up, because he was an absent father and he died when I was really young. So there's a lot of times that I wish I could have a conversation with him. So why not have a conversation with my kids through this channel so that they can look back and say, during this time, my dad thought this, and this is the way he treated people. So this is going to be a really positive channel. However, I am going to get political because I'm going to share my thoughts and views. And if you think I am way off my rocker, I want you to have dialogue with me. I want you to come on the show, and I want you to share why we disagree. And I want to show my kids how we can have a conversation with someone that we disagree with. And sometimes we will come to an agreement, and sometimes we won't. Something I've learned over the years is there's so much wisdom to share. And if you think that you can't get wisdom from a rock, you're wrong. You have to be willing to listen and to see. And that's what I want my kids to do, is listen and see. So during this channel, I want to learn some more sign language. Our third son our third child, second son, is autistic, and we had to learn sign language. And we stopped using it because we worked so hard to get him speaking. But I also want to spend some time teaching a little bit of that. So if you're one of my ASL friends, if I do something wrong, I want you to share. So I want to start my shows, and this is to my son and daughter, Elijah and Gabby. Hello, kids. So, what's happening in the world today? Well, I was watching a YouTube video on Elon Musk, or by Elon Musk, talking about Neuralink. Wow. When I was growing up, our teachers used to say in math class that you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket. You need to learn to show your work. And now we're talking about putting this Neuralink in your skull. I would love to have a conversation with someone about that, especially someone who knows a lot about it. So if you're one of my friends and you're in that field, give me a call. I would love to come and interview you. So not only I can learn something, but also my child can learn something. So Elon Musk, holy cow. So right now we're dealing with a lot of election stuff. So this is my I'm not going to get political with this, but I am, I've been looking and following politics. And here in Oklahoma, we're looking at Trump leading by 23 points to Biden. One of the things I don't like that I see here is we don't see any of the other candidates, because there's several other candidates running for president. And they're not here, and they're not in these results. And one of the things I'm struggling with here with this election is that everyone's saying, I'm looking up at another screen here that has the actual current and election. So I'm looking at projects, the 538 project, which breaks things down, and I'm looking at Oklahoma specifically because that's where I'm at. And we'll talk about some national stuff. But what I'm seeing is we just don't have, we're not taking into account the other candidates. And Trump supporters will say that another candidate will take away from their votes, and Biden supporters will say the same thing in reverse. But I want to talk about that more later, and I started to talk about it with my friend Doug, who's a big libertarian. And so we're going to interview. We've got an interview set up, so we'll kind of touch on that later. And but yeah, right now I think this is probably the best year for us to really look at politics in a different light, and I think I see some big change coming. Personally, if the election was going on today, I would be voting for Dr. Joe Jorgensen, the libertarian, and for very many reasons. And like I said, I interviewed my friend Doug, and we spoke about some of that. And we're gonna do a few more before the election, so you can kind of know what my thought process is and how I've taken my Catholic faith and work that into the election process and examining my conscience to select someone. So I don't hate Vice President Biden, and I don't hate President Trump. I don't even know Dr. Joe very well, and I'm learning. Doug was very, he left a book for me on libertarianism, and I'm going to read that. And but I really like some of the things that are on the libertarian platform. So I just think there's a lot of cool things to talk about there. So if you want to talk politics, I'm really grateful to do that. But like I said, I'm not into talking about facts and spin and all those conspiracy theories, but really talking about the issues. But I will go into why I'm going to vote libertarian probably if, like I said, if the election was today. But I am still an independent, and I'm not changing my parties because I kind of pride myself in I've never voted straight party, because I really try to know who I'm voting for. If you're looking at this way into the future, the big thing in the news right now and is the riots. We were, after I'm not visiting Louisiana for a long time, we were down in New Orleans the day COVID hit, and they started shutting everything down. So we had to come back up, and this year has just been weird. and everything is the next big crisis. So we started with wildfires in Australia, and it killed tons of animals. And right now we're back to wildfires in California, and you can look outside. And I mean, we have beautiful sunrises and sunsets right now, but that is terrible. I mean, it's because of all the pollution in the air. And we'll talk about what I think about global warming and climate change and all that good stuff, but not today. But yeah, well, if you want to talk about that, I would love to interview you, especially if you're a scientist. I know a meteorologist I'd love to chat with about that and ask some of those really tough questions. So ask questions in the comments too. And if you know something about it, please, by all means, share that and send me stuff, But let's keep everything nice and friendly, and let's agree that we can love each other and disagree. I'm looking at my script over here. I did put a script together because I don't want to miss anything. We're also doing the veteran suicide stuff as someone who unfortunately has thought about suicide several times in my life, especially when I was in the wheelchair. This month is very important to me, especially because of the veteran suicide issue. So to work on my health this month, and I haven't done push-ups in a long time, but we're going to do the 22 veterans commit suicide every day. So we don't like our vets being part of the 22. So join me in jumping on the ground doing 22 push-ups a day for the next 22 days, and yeah, let's do that. And one of the things I'd like to tell you about vets, kids, is they're honored when you thank them for their service, but it puts them in a really weird place. So when you see a vet, and to tell them I appreciate your service puts them in a place to thank you for your appreciation. When you thank a vet for their service, it puts them in a place to say you're welcome. And after speaking to a lot of vets and being a vet myself, we love it and we thank you for it. And when I served, it wasn't like that. We weren't getting thanked, but I served during Kosovo and Bosnia. But yeah, when you see that soldier, just say I appreciate your service, and that gives him an opportunity to say thank you, because that's really what we want to say. It's not about that. I am thankful that I had the opportunity, because not everyone has the opportunity to serve, and it taught me a lot about loving people. And right now, the world is so divided, and I think your generation and the Zoomer generation, which I love that word, has the chance to completely dismantle racism, because it's not your generation. Look at the people that are screaming it. It's not your generation. As an Xer, Generation X, I came in onto the scene after segregation in school, so desegregation had happened. So I was of a generation that we always had different colored kids in our schools, and I was a brown kid. It was weird being a brown kid and having this not sure if I belonged with the white kids, not sure if I belonged with the black kids, and sometimes I did and sometimes I didn't, and I was Puerto Rican and not Mexican, so it was a weird time. And to be honest, it was more weird with uncles and with your grandma, because she lived through it. She lived through them desegregating the school and people being really tense. So that's kind of the way we learned, and we were always raised really cautious. Looking back, I've realized that there were times that I was discriminated against, but it wasn't against the people my own age. It was the people that are older, and sometimes that makes sense, because it's who we are and what we're taught. Everything's not going to be like that. But I hope that you realized when you were growing up, when you were around, and my kids now, they just don't use words like African American or black or anything like that, because I stopped using them. My best friend in junior high, Willie, God rest his soul, and I talked about it when I was trying to practice stuff for this channel and kind of trying to figure out what it was. We came together because of a perceived notion that we weren't supposed to be friends, and we became the best of friends. So we stopped playing that game. And but there were some things, there were songs we sang, there were all those things that we grew up with. So I took some of those racist things with me when I joined the military. However, when I joined the military, we couldn't be racist, and I can't even think, when I look back at basic training. Yeah, we had black kids, we had white kids, we had Hispanic kids. The thing was, I remember people that had my back, and I'm sure they remember the people that had their back. I looked through my yearbook, and it just surprises me that it was never. I mean, I can remember names and I can remember people, but the color wasn't the thing. It was, man, we did KP together, and it was really bad. Or same thing when you're in combat. You don't care what color the person is next to you. You just want to know that they can do the job. So we're living in a generation right now where the Xers, the people that have stayed home, are seeing this and saying, "Wow, why can't you guys just get along? Because we didn't raise you like this." And I think maybe it's because we ignored it. I don't know if we ignored it or it just stopped being on our radar because we were trying to get past it. Because it really seems like the people that are screaming racism the loudest in our leadership are the people that were bused to school. And they're fighting this race war that existed when they were bused to school. And it's not the generation. It's not you guys. It's not you. And I hope you can't be manipulated. You guys are awesome. You guys are one of the most amazing generations. They've compared you to the greatest generation, our grandparents, my grandparents. So stop listening to this crap that's out there. You guys are awesome. And I'm going to tell you, when I do the libertarian thing, I think this is the chance. This is our revolution, and it's not going to be Molotov cocktails through a window. It's going to be voting, and it's going to be sharing positive messages and starting to love again. We're being divided, obviously. We have this generation where on Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff, people can be really mean to each other because they're anonymous. And guess what? Now people are wearing masks in a lot of places. I said masks. So people are wearing masks in a lot of places, and it's making everyone anonymous, which is making everyone just kind of crazy, And then take that, and you've got people quarantining. It's crazy. It's going. The world's going crazy. We're in solitary confinement, and we have these images that are constantly coming up. Danger, danger, danger. So let's get off of that for a minute. So yeah, that's what this channel is going to be. And I hope that it can be something really positive. So as I've been working this week, I was reflecting on Matthew chapter 23, and what he says, and he's speaking to the Pharisees. Jesus is speaking to the Pharisees. He's saying that we have to clean, the Pharisees have to clean the inside of their cup, and the outside will take care of it. Well, right now, we're in a world of Pharisee, and the people that are giving you the news on the main channels are probably not even giving you guys the news. It's giving your grandparents the news. It's giving your parents the news, and it's not good. You need to be able to think for yourself. And I don't even know if you are supporting President Trump, if you're supporting Joe Biden, if you're supporting Joe Jorgensen. But I would love for you to ask me about these guys and why I'm supporting who I'm supporting this year. And I'm going to do that in the show. Like I said, you are in a wonderful generation. Stop listening to these people who lived in a world and have a perspective of a world that was ugly. You live in such a connected world. You live in what America is supposed to be. This republic is a melting pot. But we have to stop, and this is you guys, we have to stop letting Californians telling Oklahomans or telling Kansans how to live. And we need to be a country of countries, a country of cultures. We are united because of our differences. We are the big gumbo pot. So we need to clean the inside, and the outside will get clean. And this week's scripture at church, and again, I'm Roman Catholic, and this week's gospel, it was about forgiveness. How many times do you forgive your brother? 7 times 70. So take that into account. If someone has hurt you and you are angry at them, then now's the time to forgive them and ask for forgiveness. Because there are a few people in this world that I may have hurt, and I do ask for their forgiveness in prayer every day, and especially the people I don't know that I've ever hurt. So please like, subscribe, share if you want to hear this stuff in a positive way. Do your push-ups, 22 push-ups for 22 days. I would love to see you guys post some videos of you guys doing that. So we're going to end with a little sign language, and I hope that if you are ASL, like I said, if you're an ASL friend and I mess this up, please, by all means, correct me and post video the right way. But I always tell my children every day when I drop them off at school, and we're so thankful that our kids can go to school right now, even though they're wearing masks. It's a great time to be an American, and it's a great time to be living in Oklahoma. We say work hard, be kind, and have fun. I love you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will get back to you. Let's just make this kind of a weekly show so I don't have to be so stressed and I can really think about what I need to share. But in the meantime, I'll be posting stuff on Third String Pundit that will hopefully get people talking. And I want you to ask questions. So the more questions you ask, the more things I can answer. And I am a 100% open book, and I'm ready for the hard questions, okay? So I love you guys, and please, again, like, subscribe, and share. I don't care about the money and stuff. I just want my kids to see this channel, and this is the only way I think I can make that happen. So thanks a lot, guys.